time to rest.
I own dependency.
You are more than your regrets. Hold on, breathe deep, stay with me. We're not giving up just yet.
Oh no.
Tears in the taxi,
Handshake, but you listening.
hear your struggle in a stranger's word.
Feel your own truth being heard. Calling, say your name, or just sit quiet in the rain. Hope sounds like this frequency. Love and responsibility. I own dependency.
Reality radio at its best.
Where every life is a biography.
Every heart gets time to rest.
I own dependency.
You are more than your regrets.
Hold on, breathe deep, stay with me.
We're not giving up just yet. Oh, we're not
Giving up just yet.
from Diego to Tobago, from prison gates to home. You are not your yesterday. You don't walk this road alone. Married hearts behind the mic, keeping vigil every night. If you're shaking, stay a while.
They will meet you in your trial. Dependency.
Reality radio at its
Where
best.
every life is a biography.
Oh, every heart gets time to rest. You are more than your regrets.
Hold on, breathe deep, stay with me. We're not giving up just yet.
Oh, we're not giving up just yet.
The most influential name in talk radio is I-95.5 FM. There is only one station that guarantees real talk. I-95.5 FM. The morning show. Take two. The 95 afternoon drive. The 95 mandate. Project Hope inside News Center 5. Panchayat and iSports. Let's just be brutally honest. I-95.5 is the station that all other stations and media listen to for their news. I-95.5 FM, the country's most influential name in radio.
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago. Happy Father's Day to you. Welcome to I-95.5 FM, Dependency, live here on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Tatasha, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Happy Father's Day to you if you're listening. And we would remind you, if you're tuned in to our live streams on Facebook or YouTube, please drop a like. It's free $3.99. So if you are there, please like the live and follow the channel or the page if you so desire.
This morning's program is nothing out of the ordinary for us, except to say that the two guests we have extraordinary circumstances or experience extraordinary circumstances. In studio, we have with us Mr. Ronald Cabrera, and you will remember Mr. Cabrera, who sent home his daughter to meet her maker just Tuesday. And he's here this morning with us because of the strength he has and the love he has being a father. So we dedicate this program to all fathers out there who are struggling. You know, there's a saying, if you think you have it bad, somebody's goes off than you. And Mr. Cabrera is no different because his journey has just started. Even though he physically put his daughter to rest, there is still that legal part of the journey that he has to carry with his family throughout till the end, till the last hammer falls, as they say. Same thing with Mr. Samaru, but he's not been he's been on the phone. We just speak with him for a couple of minutes to this morning so that they too can, we have in a line with them. Let's say that we have our fathers. They're lying with two fathers who's struggling right now emotionally, and we just want to say up front that this program comes with some warnings. Natasha?
Yes.
Children, just we could start. Now we know how sensitive this case especially is, and we know, and you, the viewers and listeners, are aware of the DPP's ruling. Some of us tend to forget, and forget the DPP. You see, Tony Lee, I'm more afraid of Tony Lee than the DPP, because this has to do with protection of this station and our brand and Dependency.
But also we want to highlight and reinforce that our intention is not to disabuse any guidelines that have been set either by the station management or by the Director of Public Prosecutions. We are here dealing with the victims of crime, with the individuals, the men in this case, as it is Father's Day, who have had to deal with the incredibly difficult journey of losing a child. And
in the manner in which
offering-
they have lost this child.
Exactly, by
So-
violent means. So we want to focus our questions and our energy towards giving these men hope and strength,
Yes.
and to all the other fathers who are in this room and in the country and are listening right now, that you can reflect on your own parenthood journey and hold your children a little closer now, because now that you know that there are fathers out there who have lost theirs, so it is incumbent upon you to cherish yours while you have them, because you never know what could happen.
Yes. And we also dedicated to all fathers of Trinidad and Tobago, especially in the protective service. And the only time we should hear anything about police this morning is to wish them Happy Father's Day. The Commissioner of Police, the Minister of Homeland Security, the Minister of Defense, all of these people, they have children. All of them they have children. And despite what, being politicians or law enforcement, they are fathers first. And we have to extend those greetings today to them, all members of the protective service. So most of them could have been with their children today, but they're working. They have to. You know, it's not like they could close up shop and go and spend day with their children and then go back and take up duty in the afternoon or tomorrow. They don't work like that in the protective service. So to them and to the good men and women, men of the protective service, today is your day. Also, we have a highlight of today's program, which is we're going to ask Ronald here and Mr. Samaru, if he can, we're going to play. We're also paying tribute to Mighty Sparrow today. And those of you who've never seen this Sparrow perform this track, well, you've been living under a rock. But but the lyrics in the calypso is what we're focusing on. The lyrics and the music. So this one is dedicated to the police band as well. Because, oh my God, I don't think the police band could ever replicate anything as sweet as they did with this performance.
Yeah.
So this one dedicated to the police band as well, for putting on such a magnificent piece of music. Ronald is also a performer himself. And we're going to play a little video with him too performing. He could sing like that, and you can see his daughter took some of that in her DNA too. But we'll hear more. So let's have a nice line with them this morning, coming from you, our supporters. Give them some hope and strength to carry the burden that they're going forward with. And please remember, Mr. Shortman will play the disclaimer for you in a while, but please remember, be respectful, be careful, and I don't want to have to face Tony Lee tomorrow, please God. Or they believe me. You know, you see him on a morning, he like to joke and stress out Dale and all that. There's an next side to him, or they don't want to see. I don't want to see that side either. So please, if you all care about our independency and this radio station, stay away from the legal side of these gentlemen. Focus on giving them hope and strength while they try to give us hope and strength too, despite the load that they're carrying and the burden that they bear right now.
Before we jump into the interview with Ronald, we want to acknowledge Vision on Mission, whose kind support made this program possible. Thank you very much for supporting the work of our independency and allowing it to continue.
Yes, and thank you very much to the Mashamas for agreeing to have us on here this morning. And also in studio we have support for Ronald. You would have seen the news as well too. And so yeah, we're going to have a nice little time this morning. All right, folks, so let's go to a break. We'll take that short man to play that disclaimer for you before we go to the break. And then when we return, Jeanette and Ronald is here in studio with us. Like I said, after we open with Ronald, we'll give Mr. Samaru a call, hear how he's doing on this Father's Day, first Father's Day without their children. Keep that in mind. All right, so let's go to a break. You're listening to Independency. Sit back for a nice little time this morning with Ronald Cabrera and Christopher Samaru and their families. We'll be back.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Ion Dependency, its hosts, producers, I-95.5 FM, its management, or affiliates. Some matters discussed may relate to ongoing investigations or issues currently before the courts. This program does not seek to determine guilt, innocence, or liability, and encourages viewers and listeners to allow due process to take its course.
Ion Dependency contributes to drug prevention in Trinidad and Tobago through the following efforts. Public awareness. As a registered NGO, it uses its weekly radio broadcast on I-95.5 FM to educate the public on the social and health consequences of drug abuse, trafficking, and addiction. Recovery advocacy. Hosted by Garth St. Clair, who is in long-term recovery, and Natasha Nunez, the program provides a platform for recovering individuals to share their stories, which helps reduce stigma and encourages others to seek treatment. Expert insight. It bridges the gap between policy and lived experience by featuring interviews with law enforcement, policymakers, and community workers. Media outreach. Beyond radio, the organization produces multimedia campaigns, such as anti-trafficking animations, to reach diverse audiences across social media and digital platforms.
Friends, I am Wendy Jeremy, Chair of Rebirth House. We celebrate our 38th anniversary this year, and in conjunction with the National Drug Council of Trinidad and Tobago, we are holding our 5K Run for Recovery event on Saturday the 27th of June at 4 p.m. at the Queen's Park Savannah. This event also commemorates the International Day against drug abuse and illicit trafficking. You can call 489-4041 to register. We look forward to seeing you with hope, for healing and for recovery. Come join us in our run for recovery.
You're listening to Ion Dependency. We don't just share stories, we change lives.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Ion Dependency, and again, happy Father's Day to you. Today we are speaking with fathers who have lost their children, but we want to keep the conversation obviously on a certain train. And in studio we have Ronald Cabrera, who is the father of Mercedes Lane, who you would have seen the stories in the headlines about what happened to Mercedes. She's not his only child, but we wanted to ask or start by asking Ronald to tell us about Mercedes. What are some of the things that we may not know about her or may not have read in the news about her?
Well,
Closer to the mic.
really and truly, from very young Mercedes, I've always been a very shy little girl. You know, from the time Mercedes could really walk. If you watch Mercedes too much, yeah, even me as a father, you know, and she grew up with real love in her heart, you know, loved her siblings, and would be very, very uncomfortable when she don't know people, you know, not talkative if she doesn't know you. You know, she clams up immediately when you reach out to her. Always passes, says morning, evening, with her head down, of course.
Right.
You know, and
Was she the
in
youngest?
my mind, no, she was the second to last.
Second to last.
In my mind, I used to say Mercedes, honestly, was shy to a point of stupidity, you know. That is how shy that little girl was. She was no hotty. She was a proper child. And it's not because it's my daughter.
Right.
You know, as I said earlier on, I'm not one much for impressions, you know, and she was a very docile child.
And well loved, I mean, from the some of the
she
articles.
was everybody
her
that got in
school,
contact with Mercedes loved her, you know, and it showed by the reaction of her teacher,
Yep.
Mrs. Candy John, and not just, well, that is the teacher who interacts with her on a daily, but the whole school, generalistically speaking, students and teachers alike, you know, and this issue has really weakened me, you know, and to be honest, what gives me strength is the solidarity of not just my community, but Trinidad on a whole, you know. It's like, it made me feel like I'm not in this alone, you know. Yeah.
That's important. I'm glad that you recognize that, and because losing a child is something that no parent wants to face, right? But what are some of the things? I mean, you spoke about her being shy and stuff, but what are some of the favorite memories that you have of her?
Well, Mercedes, all the shy, she was shy. She would just some low blow under the belt. Yeah, because I mean, once she accustomed with her siblings, yeah, she jokes a lot.
Right.
You know, and she'd be quiet on her own scene, and then all of the blue she would just pop up with something and have all of them laughing. You know, I would go there, she would hug me, and the child would never hug me and, Daddy, what you bring for me? She would hug me and, Daddy, how you going? You good? You know? Perhaps when I go in, if it's something special she want, she would. You know? She would come by the vehicle and, you could bring XYZ for me, you know? Most likely it would be KFC. She had loved it. She had loved it. You know? And she was quiet but very fun-loving. You know, she loved taking part in activities, you know. And in my mind, I honestly feel a young bright mind have been taken too soon away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. And as you mentioned, her partaking in activities, I learned a couple of weeks ago that she was a part of a primary school cricket program that was happening at her school, and that actually is kind of close to me because the company that I work for was running that program. So when we heard that, you know, it really hit home. So her passing has really touched a lot of people outside of her community and her school. There are a lot of people who loved and cared about her, and I hope you're taking strength from that.
She played cricket too.
She plays cricket. She was involved in the primary school cricket program that Sporty Teams was running.
And you know, it's have you ever seen her? Have you ever go to see her play?
To be honest, no.
Because it's
But that's a school
she took
program.
that from me though, you know. I used to open bowling for Southwest First Division at the age of 16.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Right.
So you were a cricketer too?
Yeah. I opened bowling for Southwest under 19 at the age of 16.
Oops.
Right.
You know what took me out of making the Trinidad under 23 team that year was a shoulder injury. Got my shoulder kicked out of place playing football, minor league football, and that was my cricket career.
Yeah. So she was an shy but active child. Obviously, had her own little sense of humor, and you all shared a special relationship too. What do you miss most about her? Now, that's a hard question to ask, but
Well, to be honest, now the question being asked, you tend to really, and when you really study it, it's like, I think it's when somebody really gone, you really realizes that it's just about every little detail about them you misses, because you realize that you're not going to get that opportunity again too, You understand? You're not really going to get an opportunity to really be around that person, that person around you, that smile, I mean, my kids are my strength, right? I love every last one of my kids. There is no better kid for me. There is no better kid. My kid in my mind are equal. And my kids are my strength. My kids are my strength. My life, I've been hard. I've trod a rugged road. I left home when I was 13, sent myself to school till I reached Form 5.
I was just about to ask you, Ronald, and just stick up in for a minute. Those who just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Ronald Cabrera, ably supported by his partner here, Janet, in studio, and we just giving him a chance to let off more of that emotion with you, and for you to give him that hope and strength. As remember, he sent home his daughter physically on Tuesday. So, but it's always, every life is a biography. And about you left home when you were 13.
Yeah, I did.
What were the circumstances by that?
Well, my mom went to America when I was about 15 months or so, 18 months. She never came back. My dad died when I was 12. And I grew up with grandparents in a very strict Seventh-day Adventist home, But at the age of 12, I went to live with my father in La Joquita. And for whatever reason, in about 6 months' time, came down home hearing to wedding, never reached back home, Got into a car crash. He and his 2 friends died. So obviously he's back down to the country for me.
How long ago was that?
That is like 42 years ago, something like that.
Okay. So you lost, yes, you were 12, sorry. Yeah, and you went back to...
I went back south.
Right.
And not long after, I decided to part ways. But I part ways still having a certain feeling within me, still having the want for something better, So I just didn't leave home and decided, hey, nobody on your back, do what you want. although I did a bit of what I want, I mean, on my own, but I really tried my best to really rise above it, so I stayed in school until I reached Form 5.
Who sent you to school, though?
I sent myself to school,
How is that, at 12?
Yeah.
So
at 13, I left when I was 13.
Right.
I left home when I was 13.
So where did you sleep? How did you get registered?
Wow. Well, actually, I slept in a place, that when rain fell, I had to sit on a windowsill till morning. That's the only place that wasn't really wetting. It was a rocky road, and a road that I don't mind. I think it has made me who I am.
Yeah, but there are some, because, to get to school in the first place, to enroll in school, somebody has to carry you. So you just walk in at school and say, I come to go to school here?
Everything was culminated into its right perspective. Somewhere down the road, like the good Lord realized my intent. He realized I wanted something more.
So he made a way for you.
And it's when I reached big man, I realized, you left school, could be just about 2 or 3 months from exam. And I wasn't really blockheaded, But when you're young, time is a kind of thing. It's when you reach a certain age, you realize how important, that it's right there.
But you were with your grandparents then, going up, going to school during that time? Or?
No, I was on my own. I was on my own. Sent myself to Sun City Boxing Emporium, because all these things I had liked, Started boxing with Errol Wamba Jones down at Sun City Boxing Emporium. And all these things. I tried to get myself in certain activities that wouldn't sway me too much. I think my only problem was fighting. That was my key back in life.
So you had anger issues?
A lot.
What do you think that resilience, where that resilience came from for you as a teenager to be in the world?
Well, to be honest, my dad was that kind of guy. Yeah, his mind, Yeah, his mind. And I think I took that exact, he was a fighter also. Calm about it, but he was. So.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Mr. Ronald Cabrera this morning, father of
Mercedez.
Mm-hmm. And he's sharing some time with us in studio with you, and a lot of we know that he got a lot of support from what we've heard, and people contacted us, and when they heard he was coming and all of that, and so he's in studio with us here, accompanied by his partner Jeanette, and who's making sure that he holds it together through this interview. And thank you very much for the support that you're lending here this morning to him.
We take a little break here and share the video of him performing, because I think people need to see that Ronald is more than the man you're seeing sitting down in studio here. He's multi-talented. He's plays sports. He's an athlete, but he's also a performer.
Yeah.
And we're happy to share a bit of that with you today. And when we come back, we will go back to the topic of the conversation and talk a little bit about Mercedes and how she passed, and that journey of grief and recovery that he's going through now. So let's just lighten it up a bit.
Yes. Yes, you'll see him performing after this break. You'll see him performing, on stage, doing a cover version of a very popular song. And so he has some talent too as well. This is his daughter too, and remember, folks, watch your contents this morning. And while you're on our platforms, please remember to like and subscribe to it. as we say Happy Father's Day to each and every father in Trinidad and Tobago today. And to Vision and Mission, we say thank you very much. And I'd like to say good morning to the folks at Caring Professionals and Harvey, Cyrus, Training Shop, you name it, we friends of our Dependency, GP, Anonymous, folks who contact us, thank you so much for seeing the benefit of keeping us on the air. And also remember, you can join Harvey after this program this afternoon at 4 p.m. on Synergy for his program. So he always has something interesting to say. So let's go for a break. When we return...
Not a break.
We're going to his performance. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, so let's go to his performance now.
I think it's video D.
Yes, let's give him a little break to wipe some tears and drink some water and we'll be back.
That was Ronald Cabrera.
Performing at Superior.
Superior
Borough Day. Right.
Yeah, big audience there, you know.
Yeah, man. Nice. Well done.
Yeah.
So that's him performing now. That was just a light moment. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Ronald Cabrera this morning in studio. And we said hello to the rest of his family. Good morning to you too as well. And we dedicate this program to all good fathers in Trinidad and Tobago. I tried pulling myself outside, but Ronald and Natasha was down back. But I telling you, I don't I really don't celebrate Father's Day because of, and you all heard me say that long before. So it's
But
not
are
about
you
me this
willing to
morning.
be celebrated?
So Ronald, so now we come to the part that it's kind of emotional, could be emotional. But where were you, and when you got the news about your daughter?
I had just finished racked up a pool game. I had just finished racking up a pool game, you know, and took up the queue and my phone rang and took out the phone. So it was my daughter Sharika, you know, asking me if Mercedes was at me. I was like, no, Mercedes not by me. As a matter of fact, I'm not even home, you know. And like she said, Mercedes left Lawrence at Chase after 9 or whatever in a vehicle. She hasn't reached home yet, which is a 3 to 5 minutes drive, you know, and that was 3:45 the evening, you know. And I honestly realized immediately something was wrong, and it wasn't anything good, you know, because what do I have, you know, that somebody would kidnap any one of my kids, you know, for ransomware. So that was out of the question. That was the last thing on my mind. I already knew something was totally wrong, because it's not like she's coming from San Fernando to Erin, or from Point to Erin, you know. It's right up Lawrence at Chase, which is 3 to 5 minutes to her destination. And if after 9 you jumped into a vehicle from that point A to point B, 3 to 5 minutes, and 3:45, you didn't reach home, then obviously something is totally wrong, you know. And I went to the station immediately, you know, and to be honest, the police officer there started making calls immediately, and within the hour a couple units came down, 3-4 units, and they were deployed, and they really tried their endeavor to make something happen. And I must mention that they really tried.
This is Erin Police?
Erin Police.
Okay.
With combining areas, you
Right.
know. They were very vigilant. Yeah.
And of course they were joined by Hunter Search and Rescue after that time.
Hunter Search and Rescue.
Right.
Were also called in, you know, but the actual finding of the body was honestly by a coincidence, in the sense that an oil company bring a swabbing unit every Sunday at that oil well. Every Sunday, as a rule, they send a swabbing unit to do work on the oil well there. And one of my friends worked with that on that swab, and they reached the well only to realize a body is on the edge of the location. Yeah. You know, one of my friends passing in a vehicle stopped and, yo, Krabby, I hear something they're hoping is not true, you know, so it's all right. He said a little boy and them know find a body on the location, on a location in Carpal, you know. And with that, for some reason I just knew it was Mercedes. I mean, who else would it be? I mean, she was supposed to go into Lucero. The body was found in Carpal, which is just a street away from Lucero. You know? Yeah. Seeing her lying there, it was the hardest thing I had to ever face. You know, it's not a nice thing going and seeing your daughter lying there, you know, and immediately I realized that she was beaten in the head, you know, because really and truly it don't take a rocket scientist to understand certain things. Why would blood be pouring out of her hair, you know, if it's not for head injuries, you know, and it ripped me, you know, it has left me hollowed. It really has left me hollowed, you know, grasping for answers that I know I would never get, you know. And that makes it even more hard, you know.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Eye on Dependency, and Mr. Ronald Cabrera is just going through that day. It's his first Father's Day without his daughter. And we are grateful that he chooses to come and share it with us this morning and with you, for you to give him some hope and strength, and also all fathers out there who are going through this period of darkness right now, because we've lost a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. And children too.
And children too, for the past year.
Yeah.
And more. You know, we've been losing them by the dozens for the past, you know, as far back as we can look. Yeah. And as a man, Trinidad and Tobago, you know, I'm not an angel. I'm not a saint. And so I don't claim to be this best man in Trinidad and Tobago now that I've turned my life around and all this kind of thing, you know. But there are some things I see in my brothers doing right now, really leaving a lot to be desired. But I don't know what some of you all thinking. And up to yesterday, and you know, social media now is bringing out these things every single day. Some man running down some man to shoot him. Some man. Why have we reached to this? How come? Where did we go wrong? Where did we take that wrong turn? Where? That you could trust someone with your child to carry them from point A to point B, and they just decide to do something else with your child. That is like crossing a one-way street, looking at the side the traffic coming from and getting hit from the next side. You don't expect that.
And that is a life-changing kind of event that you went through.
Yeah, it is.
And we...
How did your life change from in you know, in the days and the weeks that followed this, Ronald? Or what happened when you actually saw the body on the ground? What did you do from there? What state were you in?
My mental was not correct at all. To be honest, my mental was not correct. As a matter of fact, certain things crossed my mind, you know, and I think right now I really need to say thanks to Ray and Stacy, you know, that I could be here today, you know.
Who is this? Thanks to who?
Ray, my brother.
Oh, okay.
And my sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I am able to be here today, because if not for them, I would not have been here. You know.
Do you think you would have taken the law into your hands? No.
I still would if I could, being honest. I'm not one for mixing words. I'm not an impressionist, as I said earlier on. It's my daughter. You know, it's my daughter I'm speaking about here. You know, and in my mind, me not doing anything is sending a clear message to society that they can do whatever they chooses to or with my kids. You know? So even more so, I think, you know, but it is what it is. You know, in my mind, the justice is just for the state. It's no justice for me or her siblings, because let me be real, a guy almost raped and murdered my daughter. He is sitting in a cell, having 3 square meal, getting wrong and fat, having a phone, you know, a Samsung to boot, to watch movies and play the fool, you know. And I think it's crazy, you know. A guy shot in the air, you know. Okay, it's a gun. He did not shoot at people. He didn't make himself a threat in that way. And I'm almost certain when police came, he didn't make himself a threat. But just the mere fact a video has been shown, it's a license to do what they did. No. They killed him. And I mean, and a guy did something like that so heinous, and he was held and locked up. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I think the elders take the lead in this country, brethren. The elders take the lead, and government, come, and certain things have been left out. Like, because let me be real, if there are certain things in place, because time getting modern, and like with modern times, it's just getting worse. Because take for instance all these youth camps, right? All these youth camps, where are they? If they were there, this gentleman, would he have been in the position that he is in? You know? Would he have been thinking all these thoughts? Would he have been frustrated to a point of just driving people insane, because that is what he did to me?
Now let me ask you this.
You know?
Last week we were talking about we focused on the death penalty. It was last week, and I made a suggestion that people who commit these type of crimes, when they go to prison, should they be allowed? The laws can be amended so that they must be allowed to work. So just for instance, in your case, right? Your case, your daughter is gone. Your daughter could have been a millionaire. She could have been a doctor, lawyer, anything. Yet we have this person sitting in prison, being fed 3 times a day, and maybe even asked to do programs and all these different things. I suggested that why not put them to work? And I'm talking about work, 8 to 4, Monday to Friday. And the money that they make will go to the government, of course, in a fund, and then the family now will get compensated for the loss of a loved one. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think you're on the right track to a point, you know, because people like that leaves family in the total discomfort. So they should be in total discomfort also, you know. But for the compensation part, there is no amount of money could compensate. None. I could be given the world for my daughter, I don't want it. It cannot compensate. It won't fill that void, you know. The only thing could fill that void is, okay, they carry him to work, and by some mistake, some driver just says, see him with a big truck and ride.
Yeah, well, that's, we know there's your emotion talking there.
No, it's not emotion, it's the reality of things.
Right,
honestly,
but I know, Ronald,
these people should not be allowed to waste taxpayers' money. There should be something put in place for when you do a certain crime, right? Because that little child wasn't even a budding child. That child didn't even begin to get boobs. What it is you watch and see. Let's be real. What you watch and see for a big man like that, you know? I mean, come on. Yeah. People trust you. You're supposed to be trusted. You apply in the superior airing route, you know. Once you apply in a route, maybe PHO hired, there's a certain level of trust being meted there. Because women are sitting in your vehicle, parents are putting little kids in your vehicle, maybe male or female, right? And I mean, come on, you betray trust in its highest level.
Yes, and we understand. We understand how you feel. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Ronald Cabrera this morning, who is, I know you had this on your chest for quite a while to vent. So obviously, I understand your feeling. And you know, the thing is, there are people who will agree with him, you know.
Yes,
you know,
of course.
There are people
because
who will.
That kind of, well, maybe, let me ask this. If you had an opportunity to speak with him or to speak with his family, because I'm sure he has family, who he has in discomfort right now too, who didn't expect anything like this from him. If you had a chance to speak to him, what would you say? Or what would you want to hear from him?
Honestly, it all depends on, if given the chance, it all depends on how we are being in contact. Yeah. If it's like this,
let's have a glass between
if
you.
it's then there would be nothing to talk about.
No,
Okay.
but
you know,
if
honestly, I wouldn't be able to speak. I really won't.
No, but what we're talking about in a controlled environment, because there was a project done called the Sycamore Tree, where they bring victims of crime and perpetrators of crime together, and have you listen to them and they listen to you, and
so that they understand from your perspective, what their actions have
Yes.
caused, the harm and the hurt that they have caused, not just taking a life, but also, all of that entails, so
Yeah.
that they understand what they have done, not just the court saying you're guilty of this crime, but
Yes.
they have a real sense of the harm that they have caused.
Of course. Yeah.
Well,
And they-
well, honestly, man, I understand the protocol of things here, right? And I'll be very straightforward. I won't mix words. I am not one who think I have that belly and compassion to really listen to that gentleman. If
Understood.
given the opportunity, I won't want to have no conversation with him.
and they
that's-
pray
and
that
that's
they
fair.
And that's the honest truth.
That's fair.
and
That's
we
Because-
pray that they don't leave you in the same room with them alone.
No,
We
I mean, no
understand.
amount of communication with that gentleman, maybe me communicate with him communicating with me, could bring back my loss, could really quench my siblings' sadness.
Those of you who listening to us this morning, at some point in time, do you agree that Ronald will need that psychological counseling too as well? Because you know, from what you're saying, that there will be no period of time when you will reach to that point of even accepting or forgiveness. Forget forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Right.
It's
So-
not for him. It's for you.
But
But
it's a long journey
he
for him.
accepted. Yes.
What I'm hearing here this morning.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very long journey for you, with regard to your emotion and your in our neck of the woods. I will just use the term negative thinking.
Look,
You know?
hear what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Anyhow I try to come to term with this, there is no how I would.
Yeah.
Because
She has no
especially
right to be not here.
one of my daughter, Kavel, is still a minor, right? I have to interact with her. I have to go see her on a regular. How could I get accustomed to this when every time I goes there, it's only her?
Yeah.
I'm accustomed to her and Mercedes. I mean my rest of kids, but I'm talking about the minors, right?
Oh, they're close in age.
They goes to school together,
Right.
you know. They goes to school together, and I would never even be able to start to comprehend this. I honestly won't be able to start to comprehend this, you know.
Yeah. Ronald, you need help. I would say, Trinidad and Tobago, from what I am observing here this morning, you need, and I don't know if the victim and witness support ever reached out to you, anybody from that part of social development or any. Ever reached
Yeah,
out to you?
they have reached out, but that help is needed to my kids. I know me, I don't need that kind of help.
No, you do.
You may think I do. I don't need that kind of help. My only help is in the nation prison right now.
Yeah, I understand.
And that's the honest truth. My only mental health is in the nation's prison right now. You know,
And once he's alive.
to be honest,
Yeah.
I could never rest comfortable knowing my daughter haven't rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I honestly believe my daughter needs justice.
She will get it.
Right.
She will get it.
How? How?
Again, the only other way that justice can be meted out now is through the legal system, and we have to bear that in mind.
Naturally, and
right?
that is how it always is.
Y-
But
yeah, that is
again,
always-
I would reiterate justice for who?
So okay, so
Right.
you, so
So
you still
he's
agree?
questioning
You
the-
agree with the hangman? You
Of-
agree with?
for certain
course.
crimes,
Right.
and it's not because this has happened to me, because numerous and countless occasions my heart have felt like it's want to rip out
Yes.
when I go up on the media, on the social platforms, these media, and seeing the things being done to other parents' kids not happening to me.
Yeah.
And the kind of pain I would feel because I'm a parent, right? I'm a parent of 6, 1 boy, 5 girls, right? And it would hurt me so for these people. And you know what? This happened to me, made me realize that the pain I was feeling to these people was no pain at all. It made me realize what I was feeling for these people was nothing at all, and nobody could ever comprehend what these people were and are feeling. Because it has reached home and it has made me understand firsthand what these people felt and feel.
Well,
You know?
I feel you though, because I am telling you, if something happens to my family or Natasha here, is, you know, I may be, but you see, I'm talking to you now because of having the experience in dealing with these situations for the last 24 years, and dealing with people who see about people like you, and they will tell you the same thing. At some point in time, you will have to scrape, and when I say scrape, I mean get rid of the negativity, the anger, that negative chemistry that will be flowing through your body for quite a while to come. Like I say,
because
until the
it's-
last hammer falls.
It's still fresh. It's
Yeah.
still very fresh.
Yeah.
And I think where Ronald is, obviously we understand that, you know, your grief and your anger at this person who was taking your daughter from you is incalculable.
Yes.
Look, right,
We understand.
one daughter is gone,
Yeah.
right? One is traumatized.
Yeah.
You know, one is gone, one is traumatized.
Yes.
You know the feeling of your little daughter asking you if she have to go to school. Then she not going and make them send me to school crying.
Yes.
And she not going to make them put me in no vehicle. Because that little child is traumatized.
Traumatized.
And every time I replay it in my mind, it chokes me up. You know, it makes me want to do something.
Yeah.
You know, because it is very hard to hear your little picnic coming around here with that now, boy, because you're knowing for a fact she's traumatized. You know?
Yeah.
And it's really hard. It's really heart-wrenching. It's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
It
If you're
really
just
is.
joining us, you're listening to Dependency. We're going to take a break. This was the hard part to get through of the interview. Thank God, Ronald. Give him with hope and strength. Those of you on Facebook and YouTube, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Yes, and we have some comments on our YouTube channel. Rosemary, who's a loyal listener of ours, she says, I agree with him and that pain doesn't ever leave you.
Yeah.
She also says she agrees, but don't get into trouble.
Yeah.
And she
tell us
hopes
where you're
that-
looking, or tell us where you're looking at
Where-
us from. You know, whatever part of the world you are, just drop in, tell us, and give Ronald some hope and strength here as we help them navigate. And we'll ask Mr. Samaru to do the same thing for him. Mr. Samaru's role here now is to give Ronald some hope and strength, because he's been through it, he's mellowed out a bit, and just waiting for the legal part of this to conclude. But his strength to Ronald here this morning as a support will help him to deal with it. Mr. Sam will tell us how he dealt with it. And today, Father's Day. First Father's Day without their loved one. Ronald, I feel you. I feel you, brother. Trust me. I feel you. It's just that I've managed now to be able to deal with these issues and look at it from a different point of view. You know, that's why I could be able to tell you that I still think that victim and witness support should offer some sit down and discuss with you, because when we make decisions in this state, sometimes we tend to regret it later on. You know, so I can see it. Like I was saying to you, I looked at you on the news at the funeral, and you were looking at your child's face like you wanted to fix this now. You know, you wanted to give her revenge now. That's what I saw on your face on that news clip. Let's go to a break, folks. It's a somber Father's Day for some, but to all you good fathers out there, we say Happy Father's Day to you. God bless you all. Keep looking out for your children. We'll be back.
Friends, I am Wendy Jeremy, Chair of Rebirth House. We celebrate our 38th anniversary this year, and in conjunction with the National Drug Council of Trinidad and Tobago, we are holding our 5K Run for Recovery event on Saturday the 27th of June at 4 p.m. at the Queen's Park Savannah. This event also commemorates the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. You can call 489-4041 to register. We look forward to seeing you with hope, for healing and for recovery. Come join us in our run for recovery.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Dobson here from HMP London. Can I speak to Mr. James, please?
This is Mr. James speaking.
Thank you. Can you hold the line? I have a call coming through to you, sir.
Sure.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, yes, Brian?
Daddy, I'm just calling to tell you that locked up in the UK for drug trafficking.
Oh, yeah? You lock up? And you tell me I was going to Bago? And I tell you about them boy I was liming with? Well, all right. Don't drop the soap. Carry out.
Eye on Dependency. Reality radio at its best every Sunday on I 95.5 FM. Don't miss it.
You're listening to Eye on Dependency. We don't just share stories, we change lives.
We living in a different time now, Trinidad and Tobago. We live in a different, let's admit, the way we grew up no longer exists, right? You look out for me, I look out for you, the neighborhood, the camaraderie, the race relations. Like I said, I cut cane with Indian people, and they give me the aloo and sada, and I give them our bacon saltfish. We share that in the cane field. Again, I'm not that old, but that is, growing up in the country, I experienced that. Erin is where my grandmother is from, right? She's from Erin. And, my father's mother from Erin. We spent months, years in Erin when my father and my mother separated. And my father wasn't an example to me either, beating up my mother all the time. And we had to pack up and leave. And I remember standing in the hospital car park waiting for a taxi to go down here, and that's when go through Siparia, and with my mother and three of us in the dead of night, 12 o'clock, because she couldn't stay home with my father. And children grow up messed up from that time like that, having to be packing them up 12 in the night and going to look for a taxi. Your mother standing by the road crying, and taxis wasn't running 24 those times. And I experienced that with my father, with my mother. So I cannot take away from people growing up in that kind of traumatic environment to become adults now. And
but it's still happening today. I mean, you talk about the good old days, but you are just recounting something that happened to you in your youth. That these circumstances that are still traumatizing children and families today. The fact that for some reason, some men feel like they need to dominate and they need to control and they need to, be the bully in their house.
Mm-hmm.
And children growing up witnessing that, experiencing that abuse. And turn out to be some of them abusers themselves. Some take another path, but unfortunately, that dynamic is happening in a lot of homes still today. But overall, we generally have this perception that things in the past were better. And that is one of the themes of this Calypso by Sparrow, and what he was trying to convey in his song called Madness. That what he was observing in the society that was in the 90s, what he was observing was a far cry from what the country used to be. And while that many of the things that he's speaking about are true and are still happening today, even in 2026, still happening. It's always good to remember that our national song or art form of calypso is a record for us to analyze ourselves and to dig ourselves and say, where are we really heading as a country? How are we improving? How are we making life better for ourselves and our families and our communities and our country by our actions, by the things that we say on air, by the things that we do to our families, and let's take in some Sparrow, enjoy some good music and very potent lyrics that are still relevant, sadly, in 2026.
This is Madness.
Upon a time this country was sweet. People could align freely on the street. Whether was north or south, you could always walk without the fear of molestation and intimidation. We had no money, but used to live right. People used to be just poor and polite. It didn't matter what. We were always taught you have to honor your mother and father and then love thy neighbor. Now honor and respect gone through the door. Living in a state of undeclared war. Youths acting like they insane, parents want to abstain. Shouting out, don't call me name, I ain't taking no kind of blame. Something happened along the way now, honesty was simply thrown overboard. This is madness, madness, this is madness, total madness. Something happened along the way, morality we can no longer afford. This is madness, madness, this is madness, total madness. What's going on in my country, Lord? Tell me what is wrong, I want to know. Hijackers, kidnappers, multiple murderers. Trinidad and Tobago long ago was never, never so. People used to go in to sleep anytime with the window open, no worries about crime. Because the burglarizers, the peeping toms and the mischief makers were all behind bars. Now the murder rate gone up, I ain't telling lie. Like the crime wouldn't stop, don't care how we try. The realization is that the laws of the nation is in chaos and total breakdown. Rationality is no longer the norm. Might well be we need more social reform. Calypsonians do find in themselves in incest and sexual act, but allegations can't be used as fact. So not me, I ain't touching that. Something happened along the way. Self-respect seems to have little value. This is madness, madness, this is madness, total madness. Something happened along the way when intellect cannot resolve an issue. This is madness, madness, this is madness, total madness. What is going on in my country, Lord? Tell me what is wrong, I want to know. Disrespect, contempt, decent people cannot cope. Even the judiciary losing hope in the battle against the crime and dope.
Once your neighbors string the belly here, you did must come back home. Living was easy, now things get so tense. The reason is clearly too much violence. I said the wicked and the evil intimidates and terrorizes the decent people. Oh, but the oil and the other resources still doing well. Carnival, calypso, and steel band still weave a spell. But it's heartrending when you realize the fear you can't dispel. What was once a paradise nowadays is just a living hell. Something happened along the way. Dignity seemed to be sick and forlorn. This is madness. Madness. This is madness. Total madness. Something happened along the way. Integrity is all but over and done. This is madness. Madness. This is madness. Total madness. What is going on in my country, Lord? Tell me what is wrong, I want to know. Why we cast aside intelligence and abandon common sense with unprecedented violence, for which there is little defense. Hey, hey. This is madness. Oh God. The sorrow and the pain revealed in this song. By the things that I'm saying, I wish I was wrong. Because you must admit that it don't make sense to wash your dirty linen in public. Tell me where to hide it. Mama gives them to stop, so take this advice. It's time you wake up and open your eyes. Bring back the good old days. Let the Lord be praised and leave the devil and his wicked evil ways. Oh, the nation's youth must know they mustn't stop trying. Talk the truth to them and cut out the lying. Leaders must be circumspect and guidance must be shown. Youth must use the intellect for a happy future of their own. Something happened along the way, the unrighteous. Now is the rich and famous. This is madness. Madness. This is madness. Total madness. Something happened along the way, your protective force. There's no example to us. This is madness. Madness. This is madness. Total madness. What is going on in my country, Lord? Tell me what is wrong, I want to know. The wickedness is widespread. Babies don't be spared. Murderers cutting off head and the citizenry running scared. Then the ordained cuddles the proud and profane. This is madness. This is madness. This is madness. This is madness. Whoa!
That was contestant number 1, Slinger Francisco, the Mighty Sparrow. This is madness.
That was contestant number 1, Slinger Francisco, the Mighty Sparrow, singing Madness. A song like it could have been written last week.
Yes.
And we want to say, and that's why I said at the top again, this program was dedicated partly to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the band.
The band.
Oh my God.
Anthony Prospect and the crew.
Anthony Prospect.
Thank you for that, Brian Patterson on YouTube,
Yes.
for letting us know. Because this band, when you listen to this, You could just listen to the music alone. Forget the lyrics. Just listen to the music. It is so sweet. It is on point. The drummer, the horns, the bass.
Everything.
Like, I don't know if it's because it's Sparrow that everything was so tight, but I mean, we understand that the police band was really...
No, the police band was part of the March Gras. They were part of the March Gras.
The March Gras
band. Yes, that was the March Gras band.
But, boy.
If you listen to that music... And also they sent me the same thing. Senior Superintendent Prospect, deceased.
Right.
And I understand because I didn't know what Prospect. Krabby, well, according to Krabby, no. Ronald, tell us what you think about this music, boy.
No, well, honestly, the height of professionalism is on point.
Yes.
I mean, and
the lyrics.
Back then, the police band was not just a fun band. For me right now, the police band is a fun band. You know, it's a kind of a typical Trinidadian thing, wine, woman and song. You know, but back then the police band, they based their thing on professionalism.
Serious
and
musicians.
even more so being an integral part of the March Gras, they know they had to be on point.
Yes.
So professionalism was it.
Yeah, boy.
You know, but as usual, I mean, Slinger Francisco, the mighty Sparrow, he always on point. Lyrical content and stage performance. I mean, the guy's a professional.
Yes, you know. and again too, the writing of Winsford Devines.
Yes,
true.
You know, this is a masterpiece.
And it's just that this song, if people really listen to this song, right, they would honestly think that he wrote this song to enter this year the March Gras.
Yeah,
correct.
Because it relates to everything that's prevalent in society.
Yes,
everything.
And you know,
and this song was written when you said in
95.
95, right?
Yep.
So I mean, let's be real.
Youths acting like they ain't saying parents want to abstain. So, you know, no parents want to take blame now. And although people talk about that, parents should be taking some of the blame for the way their children behave.
Yes.
And you know, the self-respect, the where intellect cannot resolve an issue. And this is what happened here this morning on this program.
Yes.
Intellect supposed to let you know there are certain things that you cannot say on radio.
Yeah, there's a protocol.
There's a protocol. And if something comes out of this negative, then that's on the person for being that, you know, irresponsible on the nation's airwaves. But bring back the good old days. I would like really to bring back the good old days, you know. If it's just the time period when we looked out for each other, Ronald, and sister, how you feel about that?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed, absolutely.
Yeah, how we grew up, you know, respecting each other, the neighborhood, we were a community. I had to, by the time I leave home, let's take some calls now, 622-3937. You know, I was telling someone, from the time I walk out my house, by the time I reach to the main road, I call about 10 names, you know. Good morning, Miss. Good morning, Miss. Good morning, Mr. Brown. Good morning, Mr. Ransom. Good morning, Mr. Roberts. Good. All the way to the main road, you know.
That
is how it was back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, the elders used to take the lead. You know, right now you're finding that the elders are not on the forefront of things.
Correct.
You know.
And even that kind of permissiveness where children had to defer to adults, that kind of permissiveness, or I shouldn't say permissiveness, that kind of submissiveness that was forced on children who did not have a voice of their own, it has led to a lot of children being abused by these same elders.
Yeah.
And being put in situations that they shouldn't be in.
Hello?
Morning, God.
Hi, morning.
Morning, God. Morning to the team and morning to the brother. My sympathies there, bro. Be strong, father.
Thanks, man.
You understand? You sound like a lion. So, you know what I mean? Be strong, as I say, nobody can tell you how to feel at this point in time. You understand? Whatever emotions you're going through, try and go heal wounds. But that loss can never regain. So nobody shouldn't tell you how to feel, you know what I mean? Everything, the bitterness, the happiness, the joy, the sorrows of your loving daughter. That I've heard worse than after the radio. and Mr. Samaru, he apologized. And it should not have been said. God, but you're no liberals harden God, you know that. But God, at the end of the day, you don't know when somebody head under the heart, God. Alright? It's human to err, and none of us is perfect. And we understand what you're going through, not to make excuses for what you have said. Your loving wife have dealt with it.
right? And you learn and you go from there. And we as the callers to apologize to the police service as well and to the commissioner. The matter will be dealt with in the court. And to God, and saying God, I don't want you to beat up yourself over this. Right? You don't know what is somebody head and somebody hard, no matter how you coach them and counsel them. The coach just said we all can before we go on the field, and we go on the field and still who we want. Alright, so morning to everybody and loving you out. And Tony Lee and Daily Lock is very experienced. And about 3 months ago, a man called them and used their phone and radio and cuss them. So, so things will happen. That's life. Right, and so brother, again, you stay strong, bro. There's a trying time in your life, and your God will place that comfort. God is the boss. There's a man who's telling you who will see light in 3 weeks. Right? And some of the baddest men tell me, yeah, belly. I ain't see light in 3 weeks, God. Think about closing your eyes for 2 hours. So, bro, you stay strong, and God will find a way to bring you out of this. That's how great the Lord and the Father and Creator, and you better have there next day supporting you. Bye. Morning.
Thanks,
right. Happy Father's Day to you there in the studio, Mr. Ronald. Truly sorry for your loss and your inconsolable, quite understandable, so that we can lean on your support. Take it one day at a time. This is from Martin Williams. Somebody on the line. Hello, morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning to Gata Natasha and to Mr. Ronald and his companion.
Morning.
My happy Father's Day. My name is Liz Charles. Ronald, you may not know me. You don't know me personally. But I used to call your father Uncle Ronnie. Okay. One of his friends that died with him would have been West. That was my uncle. My father was supposed to also be on that trip.
Uncle Willie.
And decided last minute not to go. So, I know you. I know of you. And it hurt. It real hurt. It hurting. And the most I could tell you is to try and be strong.
Thank you.
Don't do anything to get yourself in trouble, because you have 5 children still depending on you, and you are their strength. Nobody could comprehend what you're feeling. We could only sympathize with you. Continue to be strong. There is a God, and yes, I understand all that you're saying about the justice system, and there is nothing that anybody could do to quell what you feel. But God is good and merciful. Be strong, brother. Keep up.
Thank you.
Be strong. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling.
Good. Yes, by Anthony Puffs also 5 months ago. Yeah, I know, but you know what? Again, we as adults, we have to lead the way, and not expect that when we say things, it would have consequences.
Hi, morning.
And children listening will pick up what we say and think the same way too. We need to separate ourselves from that. Hello? We have to try, at least try.
Garden Company, the gentleman there who lost his daughter, I feel it a lot. When I heard that, I said, what kind of madness is this? What this little child could do you? But brother, have faith. And when you want to talk, as God says, talk to a professional, so they can help you bring out that pain. Because right now you're in pain forever until you're there. Because your child wasn't sick. Remember, you put your child in a car which was to be trustworthy. And this is what the man do to your daughter, boss. Hello, when I hear that, I say, what the heck is this? Right? God, you ain't call me.
I'll call it today. I'll call it. I just took out the number here and say I'll call it. Yes, no, I'll call it later, because we need to talk about you.
Or let's stay close to him.
Yes.
Right. Keep on talking with him, pray with him. Hold his hand and pray with him. Let him get that healing, because that's an easy, God. As if your daughter was sick, you could understand.
Yeah.
But the child wasn't sick. You put your child in a car to go to school or whatever, and this is what happened to your daughter. No, that can't be called. Put him in the hand. Put that man in the foot of the court.
Thank you. Thank you, sister.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Here, just in case. I'll give you the number here. Just in case, leave me the number again for me, please now. Just in case, right?
God, before we... Hi, good morning.
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 Yeah, 684. 9180.
684
9180.
9180.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Before we take another call, can I share this Happy Father's Day video before we get into it? Because I
All right,
really
yeah.
want I want you to see it, and I
Just
want
after this call?
Yes.
Right. Coach Shortman took the call already.
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yes, God. Oh, I know. Okay.
All right. Now, I think the lines get crossed up there.
Right. So let's just share this Father's Day video. It's 2.5 minutes long, and you will see at the end, you will see God Sinclair, who is a father and a grandfather. Despite what he said earlier about not celebrating Father's Day, we want to celebrate him today. And you'll see a picture of me and my dad as well, who is no longer with us.
Okay,
So-
let's go. In the meantime, those of you on YouTube and Facebook, thank you. Continue sending your greetings for Ronald and Jeanette in studio here with us. And yes, that was Anthony Prospect, of course. Beautiful music with the police band. We say hello to all police officers this morning. You have your duty to perform. Father's Day, everybody's who's a father, we celebrate. And whatever else you have to deal with during the week, or you go ahead, you all deal with it. But this morning, we dedicate this to the police band. That's the generations of police officers that played in that music,
Yes.
in that band over the years. And here now, Ronald, the best is to get the police band to back here.
Yes, yes.
Trust me,
yes,
Trent.
yes.
Listen.
Naturally.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
competition like that,
Yeah,
especially,
yeah.
I mean,
No,
I can't
Police band,
overestimate.
they are always on point.
Yeah,
always,
for real.
always.
Always on point.
So
All
let's
those-
go to the video Natasha put
Yes,
together
this
for you
video,
all. And it's dedicated to fathers, her father, and she said she dedicated to me as well. I had no
because
idea.
I can't leave you out.
All right, let's see what she put together. Those of you who just joining us, we are the last tail end. Remember, if you want to hear this program again, as soon as we're done, you could go back to our YouTube page of
And we will
Facebook.
continue to take your calls when we come back.
Yes, after this we take your calls. 2 minutes. Let's go.
I know a man that can pass for Superman. But this Superman sometimes has a tear on his cape, or one in the air that never escapes his eyes, and I've come to realize that his strength lies in me. I know a man that can pass for a strong man. Not because he never nags or complain about his pain, but because even broke he can still afford a joke. To seem cool and woke, can afford the audacity of a smile. I know a man that can pass for a good man, or at least he tries to be. He has a temper, but underneath that temper is a lump of sugar that tastes like contagious laughter. He has the heart of a fighter, is a giver, and a big believer of me to be the best I can be. I know a man that can pass for a soldier. He has the anxiety the size of the vanity of the world he's exposed to, and still tries to protect me. He loves me so much that he bolts the door at night and clutches light at twilight, watching and waiting to pounce on anything that takes flight. He gives up sleep so I can find rest. He gives his best and still does the rest. I know a man that can pass for a leader. He carries the weight of his responsibilities a little too smoothly. But just because he carries them lightly does not mean it's not heavy. Does not mean he does not grow tired and weary. See, I know a man whose love is unconditional. A man whose favor is not transactional. A man with tender affection, so pure and original. He is a walking figure of God's love from above, and so my gratitude is intentional. I want to give him everything because he already has everything to lose. I want to care for his things because one day I might have to step in his shoes. And I might never get to choose how long his days or how long he'll stay. So I want to treat every day like his Father's Day, over and over again. Babami, happy Father's Day.
Yes, man, she and that's granddaughter. Let's go back to the lines. You want to make me tear up now. You want to make me cry now, right? That's your plan. Okay. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Brad and Natasha.
Hello,
Good
sir.
morning.
I want to say to the brother, I have passed through situation, not like that, but I had to find my positivity and think before I talk and think before I act. So I want you to take that little lesson from me. I know how good it is, but if you really meditate on it, you will understand what I'm saying. All right? I wish you all the best.
I'll see you, Ronald.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hello. Welcome to Independency, 622-3937. Hello.
Hello? Yeah. Hey, a pleasant good morning to all callers and listeners. And a happy Father's Day, blessed Father's Day to all the callers and listeners and fathers listening. Men who are biological fathers, they are men who played the role of, I played father role of the children before I even had my own biological children. And there are so many people outside there, whether it be policemen, whatever sphere of life, play the fatherly and also the motherly role to total strangers. And you know, when we are recognized, when we are conscious of this life, you're being born, and when you're a particular age, and your consciousness you start to be aware of what are wrong you. You know, it's just like so many different things shape you. There are things that live with you negatively plus positively, but at the end of the day, my lesson, my philosophy, is whatever situation you find yourself in, look at the solution. Don't look at it the way I am here. Wherever you look at that solution, you may have to refer to a solution that you passed through before. You might have to look at another man's story. But don't ever command yourself to any situation or any thought that can help you propel forward. You know, look at something to propel you forward or get you out from where you are. You may not move out as fast as you like to move out, but keep the faith at keep that positive energy going and to propel yourself out of wherever you are, where you think that you don't want to be, you're not supposed to be, where you found yourself in. Because so many different things shape or help. So many different things are responsible for where we are. Some of us, for 14 years, have parents who left us in a better position or a better head start than others, but at the end of the day, there's not anything to glorify about because all of us have to live here. And sometimes there are so many people that so much so we call good start and how we compare things in life. You know, in society, about we have good start and then they end up throwing away and losing everything. So, you know, it's better to be prepared, you know, men, and otherwise we handle than not to. And as I said to somebody this morning in church, that men do have the support like women have. You know, women friends get band together, you can say, well, girl, and know the man getting in trouble. If you go into that partner, your man getting in trouble, you might look to take shit from you. You know, men, they tend to more laugh at one another. And men need more support than women because they are the one that society expects to you know, certain responsibilities. Being born a man, society naturally have those responsibilities on you, and they expect you to rise to the occasion sometime, whether you're prepared to or not. That is just how it is. So have a blessed one, and may we continue to support one another where we can, and may all persons that found themselves for where I and Father guidance positions continue to ask God for the strength to continue where we are. Have a blessed one, man. Bye. Call our listeners.
You know, coming to think about it, is it true that the saying, you know, women handle stress better than men? We had two mothers. We spoke to two mothers.
Yes.
Who lost their children, and they were as calm as a lamb on a farm. They cried, yes, but they,
women
you
were
know,
built for this.
I don't know. Is it that
it's a biological thing?
Yeah.
And the fact that men don't support other men, that's what needs to change. Because as the caller rightly said, men do not have the support that they need, but it is incumbent upon other men to support each other. You can't wait on a woman to heal your wounds.
Let's go back to 622-3937. We have Mr. Ronald Cabrera in studio with us. We're giving him a little hope and strength today as he's spending his first Father's Day without his daughter, Mercedez, and he's well supported in studio here this morning. And as we come closer to the end of our program, once again, we thank Future Mission for us bringing you into this bacchanal here this morning. But, you know, caring professionals Remember to join Happy Boys this evening, folks, 4 o'clock at CAGTV, right? Just for this afternoon. When I say, I mean, just for, to take in Harvey, because Harvey has a program here as well.
Every Sunday?
Yes.
Is it every Sunday?
Yeah, every Sunday.
Okay.
Well, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then he has his program here on a Wednesday.
Right.
With Harvey Boris, that is. And then to Cyrus and to the Trini Shop and all those folks who continue to look out for us and try to keep us on the air. I thank you very, very much for being here for us. And of course, Shortman and Terry and all of those who continue to give us that support as well in keeping this program relevant. Any closing remarks from you, Ronald? And that you say to Trinidad and Tobago and, to fathers out there to stay strong? What kind of hope and strength you give them?
Well, firstly, I just want to thank a few people, very close friends of mine, for showing that concern and that strength, that moral support, Firstly, GQ out of Maximum Studios. Thanks for your concern and support, brethren. Bongo Spear, Gen X, all you guys. Thanks very much for showing up and showing that moral support and concern. It means a lot, Thank you all again. And to the listening audience, to parents, male or female, in the blink of an eye, your life could just flip turned upside down, and a child being sick and ending up in hospital, born sick, and you expect the worst, and you don't really ban your belly fit, but you still ban your belly fit, because matters not, no matter what that complication, you don't want that child to go. And far less not expecting something and bracing yourself for it, like the tragedy of my daughter Mercedes, the tragic passing. I mean, nobody even think along that line, so just guide your kids, hold them close, make them know and see that they are the future, and we got to guide them. We as adults need to take the forefront. I think we got to take the lead, because we are not taking the lead. Things are just going haywire, besides children making children and all that. But we as adults need to take the lead, and
make Trinidad to be a better place.
Because at the end of the day, the future are our kids. The future of this country depend on our young minds, and if they are being snatched away from us, then what future do we really hope for this country?
And defiled and are taken advantage of,
right.
And
naturally,
So I agree with you, and also to members of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force who assisting the police service in their line of duty right now. Everybody has to double up now. Look at the state we reached, that even soldiers must be on the street with police officers and members of the defense force. That should not be. We should not have reached to this stage where we have to use camouflage on the streets as well. That's supposed to be only to defend our country and not to defend from internal aggression. And
making sure everything was culminated into its right perspective for the build-up to my daughter's funeral, and special thanks and love you to my kids. Thanks for the support too, although you all needed it more than me, but again, thanks.
You're most welcome. Happy Father's Day to you. And
Thank
to
you.
those who still have your father in your life, please be kind to him. Of course, there are a lot of deadbeats, as Ronald said earlier, there are a lot of deadbeats out there, but don't make that your problem. That's on him, right? And for those of you who have good fathers who are still in your lives, please hold them close.
Yeah, I got thrown off here and distracted by Texas should have not even. Anyhow. Yes, folks. So thank you very much once again. Take care of yourselves. Be careful out there. And for one simple reason, I feel kind of out of sorts this morning because I've had an experience we've never had in 24 years on our dependency, but a short man tell me, look at, leave it alone. But, you see, when people warn me, I didn't listen, I come down hard on myself for it. So,
well, that's life, right? That's life. You won't always take direction that your father gives you or your father figure your life gives you.
This is what happens when you don't listen.
This is what happens when you don't listen.
Yes.
And I'm sure we all learned that lesson from our fathers at some point in time. Right?
Now I have to learn it from Tony all over again. This will make sense. But thank you, folks. Have a great week. Remember, please be safe out there. Join us again for another edition of Independency. Sunday, God's willing, right here on I-95.5 FM, live on the Independency Facebook page and YouTube channel. Take care.
Good afternoon.
Oh.